Have you ever wondered why you can recall the lyrics to a song you haven't heard in years, yet you can't remember where you put your keys just 5 minutes ago? Our brain is a master curator, constantly deciding what information is worth keeping and what gets tossed aside. It's a silent, relentless process, happening every second of every day. What are the secret rules that govern this vast, inner library? How does our brain choose what to remember and what to forget? Let's dive into the fascinating, and sometimes frustrating, world of memory. Think of your brain as a bustling city. New information arrives constantly, like visitors pouring into a grand central station. But not every visitor gets to stay. Most are just passing through. This is the realm of short-term memory. It's a temporary holding area, capable of juggling about 7 pieces of information at a time. It's the reason you can remember a phone number just long enough to dial it, but it vanishes moments later. This temporary storage is crucial. Without it, our minds would be overwhelmed by a constant flood of useless data. Forgetting, in this case, isn't a failure, it's a feature. It's the brain's first line of defense against information overload. So, how does a piece of information earn its permanent residency in the city of your mind? The journey from short-term to long-term memory is a complex process called consolidation. It's like a VIP pass being issued. And one of the most powerful gatekeepers in this process is emotion. Think about your most vivid memories. I bet many of them are tied to strong feelings: joy, fear, surprise, or sadness. When you experience a powerful emotion, a part of your brain called the amygdala kicks into high gear. It essentially sends a signal to the hippocampus, the brain's memory formation center, saying, "Hey, pay attention. This is important." This emotional tag makes the memory more robust and much more likely to be consolidated and stored for the long haul. It's an evolutionary survival mechanism. Remembering the location of a delicious fruit tree or the place where you encountered a predator was critical for our ancestors. Our brains are still wired that way today, prioritizing memories that are emotionally charged. Another key factor in memory consolidation is repetition. You've heard the phrase "practice makes perfect," and it's absolutely true for our brains. Every time you recall a piece of information, you are strengthening the neural pathway associated with it. It's like walking the same path through a grassy field over and over. The more you walk it, the more defined the path becomes. This is why studying for a test by reviewing material multiple times over several days is far more effective than cramming it all in at the last minute. Each repetition tells your brain, this information is being used, so it must be important. Let's keep it. This process, known as synaptic plasticity, is the physical basis of learning and memory. The connections between neurons literally become stronger and more efficient. So, the memories you frequently access are the ones that stick around. But what about the things we want to remember, but just can't? Sometimes, the information was never properly encoded in the first place. Maybe you were distracted when someone told you their name. Your brain was busy processing other things, so the name never even made it into your short-term memory. It's not that you forgot it, you never truly learned it. This is called an encoding failure. It's like trying to find a book in a library that was never checked in. It simply isn't there. This highlights the importance of paying attention. Mindfulness and focused attention are critical for creating strong initial memory traces. Without that first solid step, the chances of long-term retention are slim to none. Now, let's explore the more mysterious side of forgetting. What happens to memories that are successfully stored but then seem to fade away? This is known as storage decay. The neurobiologist Hermann Ebbinghaus famously studied this in the 19th century. He discovered what's now called the forgetting curve. It shows that we tend to forget a significant amount of new information very quickly, often within the first hour, unless we actively work to retain it. The memory trace, the physical representation of the memory in the brain, can degrade over time if it's not revisited. It's like a photograph fading in the sun. The information is still technically there, but it becomes harder and harder to access. This natural decay process is another way the brain keeps itself efficient, clearing out old, unused data to make room for new, more relevant experiences. Then there's the phenomenon of interference. Sometimes, we can't retrieve a memory because other memories are getting in the way. There are 2 main types. Proactive interference is when old memories disrupt the recall of new ones. For example, you might keep writing the previous year on your documents in January because the old habit is so ingrained. The old information is interfering with the new. On the flip side, there's retroactive interference, where new information makes it harder to recall old information. After you learn a new password, you might find it difficult to remember your old one. It's as if the new memory has overwritten or overshadowed the old one. Our memories don't exist in isolation. They are part of a complex, interconnected web. Sometimes, the wires get crossed. Perhaps the most fascinating and active area of memory research is the role of sleep. For a long time, we thought sleep was just a passive state of rest. But we now know that our brains are incredibly active during sleep, and a huge part of that activity is dedicated to memory consolidation. While you sleep, your brain is like a diligent librarian, sorting through the day's acquisitions. It replays the neural patterns of important events, strengthening their connections and transferring them from the hippocampus to the neocortex for more permanent storage. This is why pulling an all-nighter before an exam is often counterproductive. You're not just depriving your body of rest, you're robbing your brain of the critical time it needs to cement what you've learned. A good night's sleep is one of the best things you can do for your memory. It helps to prune away weak, irrelevant connections and fortify the important ones. So, is forgetting always a passive process of decay and interference, or can it be an active one? Recent research suggests the brain might have dedicated mechanisms for actively forgetting. Scientists have discovered that specific neurons can be activated to suppress or even erase certain memories. This isn't science fiction. It's a biological process that could be crucial for mental health. The ability to forget traumatic or painful experiences could be a vital coping mechanism. Forgetting allows us to move on, to learn from our mistakes without being perpetually haunted by them. It allows for cognitive flexibility, enabling us to update our knowledge and adapt to a changing world. In this light, forgetting is not a flaw in our mental design, but a gift. It's a form of mental housekeeping that keeps our minds organized, efficient, and forward-looking. As we've seen, the processes of remembering and forgetting are a delicate and dynamic dance. Our brain doesn't just passively record our experiences like a video camera. It's an active editor, a storyteller, and a curator. It prioritizes information based on emotional significance, repetition, and relevance. It uses sleep to consolidate what matters and allows unused information to fade away. It even has mechanisms to actively suppress memories that might hold us back. The constant push and pull between remembering and forgetting is what allows us to learn, to grow, and to navigate the incredible complexity of our lives. The next time you forget where you put your keys, don't be too hard on yourself. Your brain is just busy doing its job, making countless decisions to shape the incredible tapestry of who you are. The ghost in the machine isn't a flaw. It's the very essence of an intelligent, adaptive mind. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the mind. If you found this fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest explorations. See you next time.